Hello, welcome to DK Bowl Chat. I'm glad you're here. I am continuing on a 12 by 12 background for probably a bird in the front. And my goal today is to push this background back. It's bright and vibrant and I want it to be in the background. So I have a little clear gesso and I have a little bit of transparent white and also titanium white. And I'm going to come in and put a little bit of paint, and then I will take off what I need to take off as I'm going. When I'm finished with it today, it will look like this. So stick with me and I'll show you how I do this. Okay, so I've got white, titanium white. I'm going to start putting it on the canvas. And I don't need a lot, just a little bit. I do a row of it, maybe across the top too. Get some on the top. I don't want this to dry. I want to be able to move it off of here. So I just get what I want on here, not too much. I've got a sponge to start with. I'm going to see what this does. I can even scrub it with a sponge. All of a sudden we have morning mist there. See if I can get the side off of here. Also, I could use a paper towel. And you want to be careful not to do this, you know, right after you paint it, because you'll just start moving the paint around that's on the background. A little bit of water going into the gesso, clear gesso. A little bit of transparent white. A little bit of titanium white. I'm going to do the next row. I'm just crisscrossing across, and I don't want to I don't want to stay here and crisscross a whole bunch in the same spot because I'll move the paint. I don't want to move the paint because it was painted earlier today. There we go. Yep, good enough. And then I'm going to take a sponge and move it off of there. It still stays there, just not as much as it was before. I'm going in those circles. That'll do it. There we are. And I'm seeing little there's a little piece of fuzz right there. I'm going to get that off of there. Got it. All right. Next, I'm going to get the next row. Actually, I'm going to come up here and refill this part here, and then I'm going to go the next row. I need more clear gesso. I am out of it. And I could just do it with the white and then dab it off with the paper towel. But today's like experimenting day, I think. I like experimenting. Why not, huh? We'll push the background back and then I'll put like a little bird in the front with a flower. Okay, so I'm using it as a medium. We'll get more of the gesso and the transparent and titanium white. There's very little titanium white in this. Most of it's transparent white and gesso. And before I do a bird in the middle, I'm going to put foliage in the front. Foliage and flowers. You'd think they're already there, but that's the background flowers. Move this mist around. I don't want any lines between where it transitioned to the next row. This is going to help me push the background back. Okay, and get some more. There we go. Another way to do it, if I didn't want to use a sponge, I could do it with a brush, a dry 1-inch brush. Just going to go in circles. Yeah, morning mist. Ooh, that'd be a good name. That'd be a good name for the painting. Morning mist. Put this back to the line. There we go. And I'm going to get around the sides real quick because I think it's going to need it. There we go. Okay, it's all on here just fine. And how I could remove the mist if I wanted to would be if this background was dry and then I did the mist and I wanted to remove it, just use water and you know, wipe it off with a paper towel. There we go. And I can get the sides later. I just got this side towards me. I'm not going to get all of them while you're here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and go into the colors I originally used and bring the flowers closer to me. So now I'm going to work forward towards me. I do notice that the background could use a little bit more white right in the center there, right here. White and blue, I think, is what I used before. Okay. Okay, better. I'm gonna go ahead and get green. This blurrier in the background is going to help with the illusion of depth in my painting. So I have Hooker's green, and put that on here. I want to make sure that my background is exactly the way I want it to be before I start with the foreground. And to do that, I'm going to put in a little bit more foliage in the background here and there and blend again. This time I won't do the white over the top of it, but it did push back the background quite a bit. Use a little bit of yellow and white with this green. There's the white. gonna make it lighter. I don't want it to be lighter than the background, so. There we are. And a bright green here. Yeah, there we go. That's plenty. And a little bit of yellow. Okay. Where is my green? Right in here, I think. It is. And I want this to be the shape of what a plant would be in the foreground. I think it's coming in just fine. These brushes make the nicest patterns when you're painting, just by tapping. I do notice a problem here, right there, and it's too much paint. So I can take a little bit off with a Q-tip. It ought to fix it. And I will let this have its shape. I'm not gonna take its edges out or anything. Okay, I'm gonna get Q-tip. And there's just a blob of paint. Let's just get it not to be a blob. So I don't wanna roughly try to get the paint off of here. I wanna just roll a Q-tip with one side's wet, starting with a wet Q-tip. And I'm just gonna push into this and get a little bit of it. I don't need a lot. And then roll the other one in there. I don't want it to be noticeably taken off of there. Damp Q-tip first and then go on the dry side. If you're painting along with me, you probably don't have that issue to even take care of, so it's fine. They're pretty balanced. One needs to be bigger than the other. I might go right over where I had the purple. I might do that. Just go right over it with the green. Yes. Get along the bottom here. I don't need them to match. I guess that's what I was trying to say, is I don't need them to match. And the flower that I'm putting in there is a interesting look. It needs to be darker in order to be closer to us. Otherwise it'll look lighter. It'll look farther away if it's lighter. And I'm gonna go with, take a pencil and just put where it's gonna go. My paint's still a little bit wet. But I can see the shininess of the pencil. Okay, we're gonna come on up here. Yeah, that's good. And then we've got the leaves. There's one. The other one's almost hinged at the same place here. it's got like a nice little design at the base. I just love flowers. They're beautiful. Just like hummingbirds. I mean, just lovely. I don't have to worry about it being perfect. Perfect is overrated anyway. There's the direction I'm going. There we go. Then there's little red blooms that are coming out that are interesting. And if you don't want to draw it, I think there's another video on here that shows you how to transfer it in if you want to. You don't have to draw. That's the one thing, you don't have to draw to paint. You can always paint over it if it's not what you wanted. That's one thing that's easier than watercolor, is you can paint right over it. I don't think you can do that with watercolor. And then it's got a few of those little flower things coming out of here, but I'm going to start with this stem and I'll finish sketching this later. I've got it started, so you don't have to watch me sketch it all. Yeah, so I'm going to start painting that in with the Hooker's green. That's just a little bit. I had a couple small brushes. I'm going to start on this. It's a vine. And with a script liner, you can just lay it down, pull it across the canvas. Go back over that. I had to go in the water and get more paint. I'm going to do another row. By the way, this is how I would make this vine bigger, is by painting the other row in there. Oh, right next to it. I'm gonna come right up the side here too. Okay. And your hand doesn't have to be perfectly steady. I don't know if you're noticing, mine's all over the place. That's okay. It is okay, because this stem's going to be bigger anyway. It's just going to keep growing. There we go. Also, it has a couple leaves on this stem too, but I'm not worried about those right now. I'm just going to do this stem all the way to the end. Okay, that's pretty thick. I'm gonna go thick here too. And that's too thick. We'll fix it. There we go. Right there's where I want to fix it. But for now, this one's a lumpy stem. Get that lump off of there. And then I'm going to get a different brush and move that. I brought a couple over here around. I'm going to turn you sideways. just enough to move that paint. Here we go. Move that paint. That's what I'm gonna do. There. And back this way to get the other lump. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's good. We'll call it good, and I'm gonna get the lump off the front. I got a lump of paint right in the front, right here. Come on, let's move. Okay, keep going up this little stem. And I'm no longer laying it down on there. I don't want to make it wider. I can make it as thin as I want and then thicken it later. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, now we're gonna leave. And this leaf has light coming right on the top edge of it. We're gonna put some of that on there too. The light is definitely white in the green. I have extra white here. Maybe a little bit more white. And where I have the line there, I'm gonna actually make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, that's a good value difference. I like that. Okay, so, and then it also has the definition of possible veins in the leaf. And they're coming from the center out. I'm going to blend those a little bit. Well, I need to come in here and pull this line right between the two colors because it's still wet. It will mix easily. There we go. If I was to let it dry, it would be two separate colors. I don't want that. I'm just going to pull right between the two. There we go. And then on the little veins, it's darker here, so I'm going to bring some of that white off of there. I could add darker back on. let's get some dark green. Yeah, that's good. There's also a leaf down further. We'll do the ones right by the side here. And they're bigger too because they're closer to us. We're kind of getting a side view of it. Bring this in to clean it up a little bit. It's just a damp brush. There's a little bit of dark green leaf on the other side. Look at that. The fine tip brush, I'm not going to use the script liner because it's very fine. Just the tip. Just the tip of the brush. Okay. I'm just getting a little bit of a lump off the side of the vine here. I know it's going to move because I just put it on there today. I guess it doesn't have to be completely flat. I'm going to turn this sideways so I can get that little lump up here. And we did the white background on here, so I don't want to disturb that. What I want to do is just take off the green. It has to have a brush with strong bristles. There we go. Worst case scenario, I have to make up the color that's behind it and put it over the top of it. But for now, I'm just going to do this. Get it to move. And then clean it off. There we go. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I can make this one a little bit thinner on the end. Right here. And then have it come down to a point. That's what it's doing in the picture. There we go. Yeah, okay. I think that's good for today. Thank you for being here with me. If you like this video, please like the video. And if you like watching videos like this, where I'm going to show you all my secrets, because I'm actually painting while I'm doing it, so you're getting it, you're able to see everything I'm doing and how I do it. If you like these kind of videos, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. It's at DK Bullchat. And I will see you in the next video. God bless you.